Hey guys, welcome back to Schwab Sports Corner. We're on to our final division here. Just wrapped up taking up some notes here on the AFC West. Apologize for the day delay in posting this. I recorded it here on Sunday evening, but I didn't have enough time to get it edited and everything, so it will be out on Monday. So when we really look at this division, I mean, obviously, you got the big boys on the block. As you can see, my favorite football team, the Kansas City Chiefs, have won this division 9 years in a row now. So looking to make it around 10. We'll see. But you have some up-and-comers here. This division is not, some of those rollover divisions that we had seen throughout the dynasty that the Patriots had, right? This division is really working hard to shed the narrative that they're just laying over and letting Kansas City win everything. So you certainly have some contenders starting to develop in this division. Again, unlike some of those, the Patriots really took advantage of the Jets, Bills, and Dolphins being basically a dumpster fire for that whole 20-year stretch. That does not seem to be the case here in the AFC West, as again the Chargers and the Broncos seem to be putting something together. So with that, we're going to start with the Chargers, Los Angeles. This is a very well-coached football team with Jim Harbaugh. They're going to be very well-coached. And then you got Justin Herbert, who can really make every throw, right? And the games that they've played that I've been able to watch him play, he really has always impressed me. The loss to their starting left tackle, Slater, that's a tough one to overcome. And really, going to protect Herbert's blind side. He's a little bit mobile, but I wouldn't say he's super mobile, right? He's going to be kind of in one spot back there, and so protecting his blind side is really going to be important. Then obviously you lose Joey Bosa, and goes off to Buffalo. That's certainly going to hurt the rush. Still have Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack is getting older and certainly has not produced to the same level that he has in the past. Recently, brought it back in Keenan Allen at wide receiver. He's going to be their third option at wide receiver. So we'll see what he has left in the tank as well. Schedule's favorable. I could certainly see the Chargers, again, being right back in that 10, 11, 12 win position pretty quickly with the schedule that they have. The Raiders, we'll move on down to Las Vegas. New coach, new quarterback, Pete Carroll, coming in after a year off. Back at head coach for the Raiders, coming down from Seattle. Following him down from Seattle is Geno Smith, right? And so the two know each other pretty well, and they know what the expectation is between the two of them. They did add Genty from Boise State, a really good running back, and I really do think he's going to be really good. The problem is going to be their offensive line. Can their offensive line do anything for them, right? And if you watch that first preseason game, or looked at the stats from that first preseason game, -1 rushing yards for Genty because that offensive line, he was trying to escape people immediately, right? So defensively, they cut Wilkerson just a little bit ago, so that's certainly going to hurt. They still have Max Crosby, so they're still going to get some pressure there. Things will be going fine. Ultimately, I think this team's probably much more a contender for a number 1 overall pick in the draft than they do having a chance at making the playoffs. They just don't have enough pieces on offense or defense to really even be average. Next, we'll stop off in Kansas City. Obviously, the defending champions of this division and finished second in the Super Bowl, right? They finally seem to have fixed or have a long-term fix for their left tackle position, right? Josh Simmons drafted at the end of the first round in the draft last year. He was supposed to be a top 5 pick, going to be one of the better tackles in the draft before he got hurt his last year at college. And everything that I've seen coming out of Kansas City in training camp and the preseason games looks like he's going to be the day 1 starter at left tackle, and expect him to play fairly well. They have Hollywood Brown and they have Xavier Worthy coming back. Those two can certainly be dangerous. A lot of the weaponry, obviously you have Travis Kelce, who didn't have as productive of a year as last year. We'll see if he can rebound or not. He's certainly getting towards the back 9 of his career for sure, much closer to 18 than 9, using a golf reference there. So we'll see. A lot of their offensive weapons really hinges on what kind of suspension is coming for Rashee Rice, and there is a suspension coming for Rashee Rice. Likely could be this week, could be next week. I've heard anything from 2 to 10 games. My expectation is it's probably going to be 4 to 6. We will very much see, but certainly can put a damper on things if they lose Rice for any period of time. New offensive guard, obviously, with Tooney leaving for Chicago, getting traded out to Chicago. You put in a new offensive guard there, and we'll see how things gel there. Really, here's the biggest thing. Defense, very young defense that played extremely well last year, held teams to 17 points per game for the season, played extremely well throughout the playoff run, minus the Super Bowl, right? So we'll see if they can continue to do that. Look for them to add a safety, add a defensive lineman yet. They had a safety go down in the preseason game yesterday, and they can certainly use another defensive lineman for some depth. Look out for Christian Wilkinson, the guy that was just cut by the Raiders. We'll see if he lands in Kansas City or not. Finally, really the schedule is tough early for the Kansas City, but does get a little easier later on. And that's something that the media has certainly pointed out, right, is the difficult schedule at the beginning. Andy Reid teams historically are very good in September. So we'll see what wins out there. Tough schedule or good coaching. Lastly, we'll go on to Denver. Listen, Denver's defense is going to be legit, right? They were really good last year. They've only added to it. It's going to be good again this year. You have Patrick Surtain. You certainly have defensive line that plays very well. They add Dre Greenlaw. Now, is he healthy? Right? That's going to be the biggest question. I heard rumors that he's kind of been in and out of practice lately. They can certainly get pressure with their front four, and looking forward to seeing what that defense can do. It's been a long time since we've had a really top of the class defense in the NFL. I'm looking forward to that being the case. Then the question really is can the offense take the next step, right? And can Bo Nix, is it going to be average or is it going to be great? Everything I've seen from Bo Nix, listen, Denver's years ahead of where they should be in this rebuild after the whole Russell Wilson debacle. They shouldn't be where they are quite yet. So they're years ahead of where they're supposed to be. And Bo Nix is a big part of that, right? I think Bo Nix is going to be a very good NFL quarterback, and they certainly have fixed that position for the long term. Also, odd stat here, but this is the first time Denver's had the same starting quarterback and same head coach returning in back-to-back seasons since 2015. So they really have appeared to have shored up head coach and quarterback. So that's really important. Listen, the media has this team as a Super Bowl contender in Denver, and certainly a contender to win this division. My issue with Denver is this. You look at their 10 wins from last year, they did not really beat anyone, right? They didn't beat anybody of playoff caliber. Their 10 wins came from Tampa Bay, right? Tampa Bay is the only team that they beat, really, realistically, that was a playoff team. They beat Kansas City on the very back end when they were basically playing practice string guys. Kansas City had locked everything up. So outside of that, their wins came against the Jets, the Raiders twice, the Saints, Panthers, Falcons, Browns, and Indianapolis. So they did not beat anybody. And when they played a contending playoff team, at times they looked really bad, right? They had a really bad loss to Baltimore last year, and then obviously they lose to Cincinnati in overtime, and then they get into the playoffs and they get trucked by Buffalo. Certainly this team could be a fringe playoff team. I mean, I think the expectations need to get knocked down a little bit. I don't anticipate a run to the Super Bowl here, but we will see. I guess time will tell, and maybe I'm wrong, but certainly years and years ahead of where they should be. Thanks, guys.